What's up YouTube and welcome to Akshan Gnar, also known as Papercraft, a deck that's somewhat similar to the Riven Fizz OTK deck that I posted recently, but this deck is a lot more well balanced out, a bit more versatile, and allows for more interaction for both players because it's not quite as all-in combo heavy, but a bit more well-rounded overall. It can do a lot of different things. So at first sight, this is somewhat reminiscent of Sivir Akshan Demacia that has been popular for a long time, but it does have some key differences. I'll start off with the win conditions first, and the most consistent and straightforward win condition in this one is literally just playing a Ruin Runner on turn 5, slapping a Papercraft Dragon on turn 6, and having an at least 8 attack, overwhelm, spell shield, double attack unit swinging at your opponent. Many decks cannot deal with that at all, or it would be way too expensive for them to ping the spell shield first and then try to remove that 5 HP Ruin Runner. And even if they try it with Vengeances or something of the likes, we can protect our units with Rite of Negation. However, we do also have plenty of other targets to buff with Papercraft Dragon. Any Gnar, for example, or Akshan works quite effectively. Both of them benefit greatly from striking twice. And of course, once they are leveled up, the Absolver will be activated and we can turn any of our units into an overwhelm double attack threat. If our opponent tries to block with some high HP unit, we can just remove that blocker with Wallop and ensure that the whole attack connects with the Nexus. Another great target to attach a Papercraft Dragon onto is Merciless Hunter because of the fearsome keyword. In the current meta, there's a lot of decks that cannot deal effectively with fearsome blockers. We just give the one fearsome blocker our opponent has vulnerable, pull that aside with some small unit, and double attack connect with Merciless Hunter. And we can also give all of those big hitters additional attack buffs with Tiny Spear from Yordle Squire or Shaped Stone, and of course Absolver itself. Some other cute synergies here. Akshan is very easy to level in this list, and if we get Warlord's Horde to count down to 0, we can even give Akshan and Gnar Spell Shield and basically turn them into another version of Ruin Runner. Pretty efficient way of closing out games. Conchologists can also find some insane stuff here. Flame Spitter will often be good onto a double attack unit, especially if paired with Overwhelm, of course. And apart from that, we also just have some small intricate synergies. I mean, this whole deck is packed with synergies. Of course, the buff from Yordle Squire will also advance the Akshan landmark. Vagabond, so we very consistently have those landmarks, and even if we draw Akshan later on into the game, he will often already come onto the board leveled and activate the Absolver right away. Grappling Hook is a very interesting tech choice here because the deck can sometimes lack removal a bit, and it's great at advancing the Akshan landmark as well. Inventive Chemist also is quite cute in this list because if it is played on turn 1, the Scrappy Bomb will pop at the start of round 4, and on round 4 of course we want to play Gnar, and we immediately have his level up condition fulfilled. And some other tech choices to consider that I've seen other people try would be, especially in the 2-drop slot, Rockhopper does not only enable landmark synergy right away, but also synergizes greatly with our quick attack champions for free removal. Aspiring Chronomancer looked pretty interesting just to find our combo pieces more consistently, and 2-3 is kind of his premium stat line in the current meta. And just Preservarium if we want to go for a bit more value heavy, more drawn out game plan. But I felt very comfortable with this version of the deck. It is pretty tough to play. There is a lot of stuff to consider and to keep track of. And you do need to be aware of which answers your opponent might have for your champions, for your hyper carry that is buffed by a Papercraft Dragon. But this deck is very satisfying to play. It does feel very smooth when you do get the combo to pop off. And I've had a couple of really cool games on my live stream that I want to share with you guys.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
TK deck feels bad. I mean, this is the mid-rangey type of OTK deck at least, though. How do we navigate this matchup? Ruin Runner, Papercraft? Probably just keep those 3. Be even right against the Vengeance. No one plays Minimorph anymore, right? Like, this could just be a full keep. Feels kind of bad to have 7 1-drops and keep this type of hand, but I think this is our quickest path to victory. Playing in... This is EU. Could play Concologist in case my opponent plays Catalyzer. I'd have the better blocker, but I lose out on 2 Warlord's Palace triggers. This is a bit sus against something like a Vile Feast. Quite peculiar. Rope Maker is a scare card. But if I open attack, Veigar is really annoying. Also, I kind of want to bank 3 spell mana here. I think I like open attack the most. The reason is I want to play Rune Runner on 5, Papercraft plus Rite of Negation on 6. These are all horribly mediocre. Guess Payday? Could be Careful Prep.
Wondrous discoveries await below.
I could damage the Rope Maker so that... Like, if this is at 1 HP, technically Papercraft Rune Runner is lethal. I could also keep the board wide. Almost think I prefer that. Hey, worst case scenario, my opponent has Dark Bulb Acolyte and a ping. The Veigar and a ping also works. Oh, it's this Roper guy. I forgot about this guy. It's sometimes just intentionally rope literally every decision until the end. Still a bit sad that people like that don't get banned. Could be Poke Vengeance. That's at least a pretty big net mana gain for us. What does he gain from roping though? Ask him. I don't know. I mean, Minimorph isn't horrible for me because of the double attacks they're staying. Play a game on another tab while he ropes. Can you open the client twice? Like, I could play on my NA or Southeast Asia account in the meantime. If I buff this to 9, it's 5 on the first hit. I can set him down to 1 HP. It's actually lethal if I go for Mana Gem Destruction, right? And then give everything +1. Is that more damage than Sandstone Charger? It's an extra 3 damage. If I go Sandstone, it's also an extra 3. But plus attack is better because it's permanent. Oh, I wish I had the Garen emote equipped here. Stress Defense is an out. I don't think a lot of versions still play it. Wallop is an out. He's playing the updated version. Yeah, I'm a bit sad that there's no, like, reporting system for this. It's not really bannable. Well, in the meantime, we have some alone time, chat. We have a little date. How's your guys' weeks been? What's going on reporting for what? Intentionally roping every decision. You can always argue they are planning their next turns. I mean, yeah, but it's a bit ridiculous at this point. My experience, stream snipers are usually roping. Yeah, I think it's pretty likely our opponent stream sniping. Play Elden Ring in second tab. I don't even have Elden Ring. Time for a joke hit me. How am I? A bit tired, but apart from that, good. Like, it's really weird. Once you do have, like, a lack of sleep over a longer period of time, it's really tough to regain control over your sleep schedule, if that makes sense.
Must be nice living off stolen coin.
Play duo queue with Estacio and LOL. I feel like League is a bit too much input. I could try. My week was mostly me furiously reading news articles in 4 languages. Which 4? I get German and English? What are the other 2? My week has been hectic. I feel like a lot of hectic weeks for a lot of people right now. Lots of stuff going on across the world. Yeah, I was thinking about going Payday and looking for a spell shield or plus HP immediately. But I also kind of need to find more stuff to eventually close out the game. Can try to turn our fearsome unit into a threat here. Having not enough sleep builds over time. Yeah, and it takes a couple days to catch up on it again. In which you're not feeling that great. And the weird thing is that, like, at least for me, I then struggle a lot to get a consistent sleep schedule. Russian, German, English, Ukrainian. All right, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Swing looks awkward. Sure.
Not a chance.
I mean, you can tell when people do it intentionally and when they're just planning out their turns. There are some no-brainer actions, like here, for example, where your opponent already had enough time to think for their next turns in the last 8 times they robed. What kind of street food do you have where I'm from? In Germany? It's mostly international street food. Like, classic German street food would just be, what, like sausage or a hot dog-ish style? But usually like sausage, curry sausage with fries, French fries. Yeah, German cuisine is neither super creative nor very high class. Döner, that's true. Kebab, but that's technically also international. Well, not quite, right? It was, I think it was a German person of Turkish origin who invented it. When I say Döner, yeah, we got Ultra Kebab Master in chat. You probably know more than I do. You know what specialty I'm going into? Probably something with psychology, psychosomatics, psychiatry. Not quite sure yet. Older you get, the harder it is to recover from sleep deprivation. Absolutely. I mean, I still consider myself young and I'm already starting to struggle with it. What are your thoughts on Riot removing seasonal casting? This is probably Vengeance or Minimorph. Or another Stress Defense. Or my opponent doesn't have ways of stopping this anymore. I look for +2 attack either way. That's pretty neat.
That's right. Run!
Removing seasonal casting. The question is, how much did it really cost them? I mean, it probably makes sense from a big business perspective. I think people underestimate how expensive a full-on broadcast really is. At least the way they were doing it, a full-on professional broadcast with hiring studios. But yeah, it's a bit it's sad, of course. But I mean, I feel like it was to be expected. Money goes out of this type of competitive scene. And maybe if they ever implement another draft mode that will be highly popular and competitive demand will be there, we'll have a bit of a competitive scene again. But I don't think it's gonna happen in the next year or two. So I think it's, yeah, what can I say? It's unfortunate, it's a bit sad, but it's... Since I already somewhat expected it, it's not hitting me too hard, if that makes sense. Döner is Turkish. The döner in Germany, however, went into a pretty big change. Was invented in Berlin in the 1970s. Garlic sauce and the extra veggies. Alright, so classic kebab in Turkish is rather mostly bread and meat. Minimorph and attach. It still works though, since it removes fearsome. NA season has had too many casters. You could argue that. You could also say the other regions have too few casters. It really depends. Raft just got for good. Best we'll get it back in a year and a half. Yeah, that's pretty much what they wrote in the announcement, and that's what I'm hoping for. You think that lore suffers from not having any sunk cost hooks, like MTG and Hearthstone having to bring people back? Oh, yeah, I've heard that argument a couple of times. The best answer I can give you is I don't know. I don't know how big of an impact it is. Because there's upsides and downsides to everything, right? And I mean, having the game mostly be free to play is also a huge upside. I need to release skins linked to the seasonal sports to help recoup the cost. That's an idea. But then again, is it worth it? Like, do enough people care? Would enough people buy it? Or LoL makes skins for the winning teams or Dota? Yeah, I just think you can't compare it. I think lore is in a different ballpark than League. Could just try to build another one. It's sad if I play this and my opponent plays a fearsome blocker. I don't have a very clear path to victory right now, except for my opponent being bricked. Could try to flip Gnar. Gotta find something off of Conchologist. I think it's not the worst idea, but this of course is very sad. Lobster skin on Braum would be cool. Yeah, but I would be like the only person to buy it. And I guess you guys, some YouTube viewers. It's not quite worth it, isn't it? I'd buy an Alan-themed Akshan skin for sure. Didn't they make card art like that for Worlds? Yeah, I'm pretty sure my opponent's watching my hands, so I'm not quite sure if it's smart to play Merciless here. Roving reminds me of that time when I faced FreshLobster in a fight night without die. Touché. Whining about no casting, the community can set this up themselves. But they can't really. Because some person would need like vision from, they would need permission from all of the in-game players. You'd need to set up the client, and you would not have any type of production as in graphics, deck lists, and so on. Like, of course, the community can do, like, they can hope that some players will share their POV and they can do some off-brand knockoff casting, basically. But that's all you can hope for, really. Is that even worth hourglassing? I probably should. So I need to give the fearsome blocker vulnerable. Papercraft the merciless. Hope it goes through. The other line of play is trying to give Veigar vulnerable, remove him, but I'm not outlasting my opponent, right? I wonder if this person is actually still salty. I remember a couple months ago we had like a game where I was playing some control deck, something like Field Rush. Had a couple of really tough decisions and I did play slowly. And all of a sudden, right, before that happened, this person played normal speed. All of a sudden, ever since that person took maximum amount of time, every time we faced on the ladder for like months. Like, how butthurt can you really be as a human being? It's really funny. I'm one of flipping this. That's also interesting. That's a huge amount of salt. Hey, some people are just living salt mines. What can you do? Now, how do we do this? Do we contest Veigar? I could also look for Absolver. Could play paper... No, I can't. Costs too much mana overall. I think we try to go for the finish here. There's a lot of ways my opponent can stop it, but what can we do? The thing is, if my opponent has another Veigar, it's better for me to not remove this one. Because they'll generate another darkness. Either way, I'm a bit doomed, because then that other Veigar will be a stun anyway. And I mean, if I recall correctly, like the first couple rounds of this game, this person also played normal speed. This was just when they realized who they were facing. That they started perma-roping. Oh, see, and now they're actually doing an action a bit sooner, that if they know they have to actually think about something.
Let us take a peek at life beneath the waves.
Wrap 'em up tight.
Random conchologist wallop, I can see it. Double group shot. Ah, there's the Veigar card. Shutting down a pokey stick, okay. The Veigar read was correct, so far so good. It's a bit unfortunate because this round is actually, like, this game is really good, like, strategically. Do people rope like this often against you? No, it's the only person I can think of that intentionally does it. I think on the Americas server it's a bit worse though. I think there are more stream snipers and more ropers and toxic people there. From what I've heard at least. What's the point of roping like this? He's wasting the same amount of the time. I don't know. Some people are just like literally non-intelligent. It's a bit sad that there's no proper report feature for this. I mean, it's also a good sign technically. But a game like Lore doesn't really need a report feature like this. Because in League of Legends, something like this happens on a regular basis. In Lore, at least, it's not. Is this content for YouTube? I don't know. I feel like this is more of a talk show than an actual game of Legends of Runeterra. If we win in a satisfactory way, then it's gonna be content for YouTube. Like, the thing is, we know our opponent is somewhat starved of resources at this point. The sad thing is they could easily have another Veigar's Event Horizon. Well, then the good thing is, we will play a unit with Spell Shield. Just have to hope they don't hold another Vile Feast group shot type of thing. They could easily still have a Spell Shield ping. Now, here comes the question, like, do we expect our opponent to watch us or not? Let me see if I can find someone with this nickname in chat. No, I can't. Like, if we assume they're stream sniping, I might as well just play the Ruin Runner. If not, we should probably pass first. To try adding him with the EUS tie. Why would I want to talk to such a person, though? Like, it's pretty obvious that talking to them does not improve anything. Okay, there's actually a tiny chance they're not stream sniping, they're only roping. Is he roping every turn? Yeah. Every decision, not every turn. Since which turn? Like turn 3 or 4. I think as soon as they realized, as soon as they saw my name. Like, this person has been roping me every single time we met for the last couple of months. Being present for the whole rope and not snipe. What is wrong with this person? It's still not in... Like, it doesn't have to mean they're not sniping. Not attacking, I'm pretty sure is inting. So the question is basically whether or not this is Veigar's Event Horizon. And they might have found some top deck random stuff, of course. Ah, but they can concede quickly. Good to know. Did we use right yet? Yeah, we used one right for a Vengeance earlier on. Yeah, I think this is YouTube content. That was oddly satisfactory. Haven't seen anyone play Mecha Yodels yet. Are they bad? Yeah, well, at least it's more about you can't really play mid-range these days. Outside of Demacia Rally. Like, just pure stats with mediocre keywords isn't good enough because the meta is so power-crept. Turn 3 cheeky open pass. Or just look for one drop in Akshan. Right of the Arcane is really good in this matchup. The other two are just straight up garbage, it has to be right. Open pass next turn looks really good. I don't hate Vagabond neither. It's really good for us because we are getting closer to our combo power spike.
Not by a long shot.
Not by a long shot.
We're not taking it. We're taking it back.
Taking it back. So what? No attack looks like straight up griefing here. I don't mind right and shooting this immediately. I think it's good. We have our combo in hand already. We don't need the landmark that much. This game feels so fast paced. Yeah, opposed to the last one. Absolutely.
Chase what you want without mercy.
Huh. Guess I'm the big guns now. Don't have any warning shots.
Wild. But I guess my opponent's so far behind they have to make desperation plays.
The hurt your weapon.
My research. Pretty sure we still just Papercraft, so my opponent can't clear this out with Beam or get excited or Aftershock right now or Gotcha. Le top deck. I see how things are going here. I mean, good luck to us. Pretty sure developing is griefing. There's no way my opponent goes for like a vengeance here after they just used Gotcha last round. What does that tell us? They probably don't hold Mystic Shot. Which means there's a good likelihood that they might hold one more ping. They probably also don't hold double pings because that would have been used instead. Go for it, no balls. It's not even no balls, just off of the read that they're using Gotcha to remove a 2 HP unit, this is probably the correct play. Top deck. This can only be a ping, right? Now I'm confused. Oh, this might have been a Static Shock and they reconsidered and went for Vile Feast instead. But even then, wouldn't you have used Static Shock plus Vile Feast first? I'm confused. I'm really confused. Maybe my opponent just misplayed without realizing it by using Gotcha. Sure. Sure. Forfeit? No, our opponent just blew so many resources. Ah. Just a little bit too late. No, not the Papercraft. Okay. Never mind. So we kind of rinse and repeat. Try the same with a Fearsome this time. 4 mana left. But it's unlikely our opponent plays Fearsome blockers besides these two. What do I get vulnerable to? Maybe a Spider? Saw 2 Vile Feasts, right? There's probably not a lot of pings left.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton, right, Arda?
It's an awesome day for progress.
Set him to 3. I mean, I can develop here. I have Rite of Negation. If we have 2 Fearsomes connected, it's technically lethal.
We'll see which one of us is stronger, Akshan.
Have we met?
For the wicked, for the dead.
It's annoying.
We love it when they run.
Oh, should have used it immediately. They might not know I'm playing Rite of Negation.
Get our legs in. Swipe it off.
Do I ever do this? No, I don't think so. GG! No random Zorfsoul this time around. That was also a pretty nice game though.
Closer to a world without villains.
Played 2 main deck Wallops and they were godsends. Yeah, it might be a 2-off. It feels like it hits a lot in the current meta. Kinda wanna keep everything, but I also really wanna find a 1-drop. Let's go. This might be a matchup where Shield isn't too bad. Chronomancer stat line is kind of based. Yes? Yeah, I guess.
Explosives primed. Ready, Hammer?
I think I'm just a big fan of the idea of Rockhopper in this with the quick attackers that we have. Okay, so far we're fending off the aggression super well. Based is an overstatement. I suppose. We have the combo, they can't beat us. What kind of combos are really game breaking in this though? I guess Rune Runner Papercraft is kind of cracked. I guess Gnar if he levels plus Papercraft is kind of cracked. Right now we have no way of leveling Gnar. I guess we trade this in, sure. This would be really good if we already had the Akshan landmark. I think I like Faye just to find another unit we could play this turn. Runner Papercraft, but we only get that off on turn 7. I could have gotten Gnar into Shaped Stone and block here, I suppose. Into Papercraft. Doesn't look that strong though. I think we just look for a cheap unit here from Faye. Damn it. Take out Gnar. Then we don't have a blocker. Play Gnar, keep Wallop for this. I think I prefer play Gnar and keep Wallop than trading in. So ideally my opponent open attacks. Now it gets iffy. Because I do want Ruin Runner plus Rockhopper combo. Like I could play Ruin Runner and block here, I suppose. Ruin Runner. Wallop Gnar block here and then next turn Papercraft Shaped Stone. Yeah. Works. There's a chance we die. But it's also our cleanest path to victory. Lantern Papercraft doesn't really make sense.
Stand in trouble far as the eye can see. You lost.
Wallop. Why so toxic? Welcome to Platinum. Some people were just born with salt and grief in their veins. Why damage Ruin Runner instead of taking the 3? Because of some weird fervor demo decimate type of plays. Like, why does the damage on Ruin Runner matter? Did I already play Fizz Riven? Yes. Eat my smoke. Okay. How? I feel like my opponent is very tilted, the way they've been spamming emotes. And it somehow gives me satisfaction. It gives me joy.
Routes closed.
GG!